It says we're here. Wow, that was faster than it is in the middle of the day.
Damn, look at that.
It's amazing how those evening internet speeds go. Considering half
Especially
our street is probably all asleep, because we are not exactly the oldest on our street.
That's true. That is true. That is very true.
I mean, by just sheer numbers and averages, we're middle-aged at best compared to some of the folks on our street. So, yeah. I would believe some of them are asleep already and not using the bandwidth. Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our monthly Friday night live stream. We are here a couple minutes early. It's all chaos all the time. We will start our Q&A at 10 o'clock, which for our time zone, that's in 30 minutes. But until then, we gotta ease on down the road is what's about to come out. We gotta ease on into things.
Yep. And yes, Wendy, happy Friday to you and everybody.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about the updates and the emails I send out on your behalf. But the newsletter and the Patreon update every week, it starts with Happy Friday, y'all. I'm nothing if not consistent.
There you go. I
mean, the irony is we make our own schedules, so we don't necessarily, we take weekends off when we can, but one, sometimes we can't, and two, that's artificial to us because I could take a Tuesday off if I need to. It stresses me out to do, but I can. So, but yeah, the Happy Friday. Anyway, I'm going to say hello to folks.
Yes,
that's
say
what
hello to
I'm
folks.
going to do. Hi, X. Hi, Pat Venus. Hi, Silent. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Andre. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Rara. Hi, Jaden. Hi, Audrey. Okay. Yeah, I think I got y'all
Got
so
'em.
far.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, X, I know it starts in 30 minutes in every time zone, but our time zone means it starts at 10 o'clock. So when I give a time, I like to clarify.
You need to state Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, Jesus. Look. I am a kid of 8, 9 Central. Like, that's in my head. All the TV shows.
Wow.
The Friday night. What did we call it? What was the comedy thing on Friday? TGIF Fridays. TGIF Fridays, right.
Yeah.
And I watched all those sitcoms and everything, and it would always tell you it was going to start at 8 o'clock, 9 p.m. Central. And so I had that in my head. And then I lived in Central Time Zone for a while. That was a mind fuck. I was like, wait, what time do things start? Hi, Christy. I could never keep up with which time we were, so that's why I just do the ET, and I was doing the
Eastern,
EST for a while. Whatever. Yeah. It's not Central. I know that.
Right. It's in the East.
It's in the East. If you're new here, it's like this every time we do one of these Friday night deals. Perfect Strangers. Oh, I loved that show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Balky.
Yeah. There's very few shows I'm nostalgic enough to want to watch again. Like, if we had cable, I'd watch them in syndication or whatever. There are 3 that are off the top of my head right now. As y'all discuss more, because I'm sure you will, I'll think of others. But the 3 that I would 100% happily watch over and over and over again if I could. Perfect Strangers, The Golden Girls, and Designing Women. Oh, I love that show.
The Sugar Bakers.
Yes. And my problem was when The Golden Girls and Designing Women were on regularly, like their first run time, we barely got those channels because we were out in the boonies, and like you held the rabbit ears a certain way and like had to wear an aluminum tinfoil hat and like stand on one leg to get the station to come in clear. So I missed a lot of that stuff and didn't get to watch it regularly till it was in reruns. which made me sad. But Perfect Strangers, I got to watch. Maybe not the first couple seasons was I watching them like as they were coming out, but as yeah. Hi, Nikita's World. Kim, did I say hi to you? If I did, you're my double hi for the night. If not, hi. I think I've heard of The Residents, but not enough to know what the hell it's about. I want to watch The Pit. Social media has influenced me. It's supposedly like the most realistic medical drama program ever, and also, I was not. Ooh, Noah Wiley is so sexy in the 90s. Yeah. Too baby faced. Noah Wiley now, I would do some devious shit with that man if allowed. That is a sexy motherfucker. I'm telling you right now.
And Taishu, yes, all three of them.
MASH, yeah, I watched that in some serious syndication.
And now I saw him mention Knight Rider. I loved that show back in the day as a kid, and now I think if I watched it, I'd probably think the car acted better than.
Yes. Look, we grow and we mature and we realize some things. Okay, right. Oh my gosh. So of course, other people my age definitely will probably relate to this. I Love Lucy in syndication. Oh my god. The Dick Van Dyke Show. Oh, I loved that show. Yes, I saw Andy Griffith. That show. I can't even remember what the name is. It the Andy Griffith Show?
The Andy Griffith Show, yeah.
I saw that one. I was never drawn to that one.
Which I think.
Give me Lucy.
And Andy Griffith, I think that spawned Gomer Pyle.
Yes, I was never a fan of that one either.
And what was the other one around that time? Green Acres.
Obviously, I think I only saw Green Acres in repeats, for sure. But I think we stopped watching it in any way, shape, or form, late 80s. Maybe it wasn't in syndication anymore. I don't know. But I just know I saw it a little bit when I was very young and could not, barely have a memory from that time.
Yeah.
And then never again.
I know when MASH went off the air, I was very sad about that.
When I finally watched the last episode, which obviously was not when it went off the air, cried.
Yeah.
Cried.
Yeah. I mean, that, I had, been with that, had watched that from the beginning. Yeah. Now I just want to watch some old nostalgic TV. Petticoat Junction, that was the other one. I couldn't think of it. Thank you.
I know that name, but I definitely don't have any memory of that one. No. Yeah, now I just want to watch some Designing Women and some Golden Girls. Both. I keep seeing clips through Instagram. I'm on that part of the algorithm, I guess, and they were talking about shit 40 years ago that is still relevant today. And also, I am here. I am so here for a good Julia Sugarbaker takedown/rant. Oh, God. So good.
Yeah, she did, boy. She could do that.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, right, rah. You want to know what generation we come from? Let me tell you our favorite shows. Yeah, I was certainly at the right age for certain shows when they first came out. Boy Meets World, Full House, Family Matters, stuff like that. And I watched all that stuff. I remember loving Full House until a certain point, I guess. It was, I think for me, it's one of those typical things that the longer it went on, those later seasons, it's you could have stopped a season or two ago. But I was a kid then. I think I just got bored with it after a while. Boy Meets World, I was always bored with. other than, and I don't know the actor's name, and I can't remember the character's name because Swiss cheese for brains, but there was the bad boy character in Boy Meets World, and I was of an age where that was age appropriate, and I had such a crush. Oh my god. But I'm not nostalgic for any of those at all. Not at all.
Oh, well, here, I'll make y'all feel better. So my childhood shows.
Okay.
Cat and Kangaroo.
I mean, that was available to me when I was a kid.
Romper Room.
I never watched that one.
Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Oh yeah, that I got to see some of that when I was a kid. Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it is definitely a product of its age, of all those fucking puppets.
Right? Yeah.
God damn. And so I don't know anything about like Lamb Chop lore over all these decades, but I do know now that that Lamb Chop, the character, is apparently a super popular dog toy. And I don't know if you notice every time we go into the pet store where we get all of Lola's stuff and all those fuzzy toys we can't buy her because she'll just chew them up. There are Lamb Chops just all sizes. But I read an article, I watched a video, I can't remember, that said that, yeah, Lamb Chop is an extremely popular character for dog toys now.
Well, I came across, was it on Instagram? I don't remember. Somewhere on social media. Her daughter very much keeps the whole Lamb Chop thing going.
Well, hopefully it's lucrative. I would assume that's probably why. Usually why. So, I know I'm of an age, I'm noticing in the chat, Thundercats. I have no memory of Thundercats, but I do clearly remember She-Ra and He-Man. Watched them both. She-Ra is my favorite. Yeah, Mr. Rogers, of course. Sesame Street, of course. Reading Rainbow, of course. Those are all my PBS shows. Oh, yeah. Let's see, I'm trying to think. See, part of it is, I don't know how unique it is, but I feel like it says something about my own childhood. A lot of my favorite music from early days is music from the 50s and 60s. And the shows that I can remember watching regularly, like MASH and some others, Matlock, holy shit. My dad was in charge of the remote control and the radio in the car. If he was present, nobody else got to choose. And so, other than Friday nights were like the one night he'd let me watch, TGIF, whatever. But everything else he picked, and he was 40 years older than me. So I was listening to and watching things that middle-aged men of the time were watching. Which is why when you're like telling me stuff from your childhood, I'm like, yeah, that tracks. I'm sure I've heard of that. Oh, God. So... Oh my goodness. See, I didn't get into Nick at Night for a long time. First of all, I didn't have access to Nickelodeon for literal years. I was mid-teen years before I got access to Nickelodeon and Disney. I had brief access to Disney when I was teeny tiny, and we had a satellite dish, and this was the 80s, so the satellite dish was the size of a tank or something. It was freaking massive. But then that thing stopped working, so we didn't get it anymore. But then when Nick at Night started doing all those sort of what do I want to call it? Air quote, the nostalgic shows, the black and white, the older stuff. I watched it for as long as I could, and then I just at some point I wandered off from it.
Didn't that channel actually, or Nick at Night, didn't that actually become its own entity at some point?
I don't remember. It feels like it did.
Yeah.
Because Nickelodeon, I only know this from parenting. Nickelodeon was Nickelodeon, and then there was Nick Jr. And if I recall, it started out on Nickelodeon. Nick Jr. was the morning time. And then like when the school age kids were home to watch TV, then it was regular
Okay.
Nick. And at some point within the last 19 years, because that's how long I've been paying attention, I believe Nick Jr. split off into its own separate channel. The same with
Junior.
Disney, because Disney, what do they call it? Do they call it Disney Junior? Disney for little kids was like a section of the day at one point, and then I feel like at one point it split off into its own channel as well. And again, I only know that because I watched a lot of Nick Jr. and like the little kid Disney for several years. Nick at Night turned into TV Land. Okay, that feels right.
All right. Okay.
I watched
The
Dinosaurs.
new school. Yes, I do. I
What is it
do,
you remember?
Taishu. The new school review, Freddie the Frog and Henrietta Hippo.
I don't
Oh
recognize
yeah.
that at all. Yeah,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you remember, because I've seen it being chatted in the live chat, the show Dinosaurs? This
Yes,
animatronic puppet thing?
Yes.
We watched
Not
it.
the daddy.
We watched it, and look, I'm not going to pretend we were above the not the daddy thing. That was, we walked around my house quoting that all the time. But I never loved that show because the were they puppets? Whatever they were, the costumes, the whatever it was, freaked me the fuck out. I was like, no, I don't like this. So I watched because
Not the mama. That's what he said.
not the mama.
Yeah.
Whatever. We walked around saying that. So, God. Yeah. So we watched it, and we picked some things out that were like, oh, that's funny. And it would definitely not be on my rewatch list. Like, Alf is not on my rewatch list. I definitely watched Alf back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I guess I was just a weird little kid going, why is this, like, puppet costume, like, this is weird to me. My brain just, I couldn't get past, like, I never forgot that Alf, and thought, oh, Alf's just an alien. It was like, that looks like plastic, and that looks like poly. Like, I don't think I was thinking in those terms, but yeah. I sort of remember Punky Brewster. And only vaguely. Like, I remember getting to watch some shows, but we never, I think it's because maybe we had access to that channel when I was visiting, like, my grandparents or my great-grandmother, but we didn't have access to it at home, so I didn't get to watch it regularly. Same with Charles in Charge. I vaguely remember it, but not like, oh my God, I watched it all the time.
I remember Charles in Charge. Punky Brewster, not so much.
Cheers.
God,
I liked that show. I liked that show.
Yeah.
Taxi. Now, WKRP
in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I barely got to watch Blossom. I was aware of Blossom. I never really got to watch it. And now I don't know, was it because I had zero control over the remote, or we just didn't have access to some of the channels? Because truly, there was a good 10 years or so where the only channels we could get clear on our TV was ABC and PBS. That was it. There was no CBS. There was no NBC. There was none of that.
When I left,
Three's Company.
Yeah, when I left New York,
Night Court. Sorry,
Yep.
I loved Night Court. That was
Oh, yeah.
so good. Probably hasn't aged well, but I liked it then.
God, all those shows they're mentioning. So, but yeah, when I left New York, we did not have cable where we were because we were so far
Sure.
out. New cable existed, and when I came to Florida, I was in Tampa Bay and it was available,
Right.
and I was like, Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had to leave Florida, that at the time was considered a good place to live and a little bit progressive. We had to move to Mississippi, which was truly, everybody warned us, and then we saw it for ourselves. It was 20 years behind all kinds of stuff. Like, all kinds of stuff. They were 20 years behind at the time. That's when we got cable, though. I was like, that's ironic. What else? Oh, The Jeffersons. That was a good one. Sanford and Son. Watched a lot of that as a kid. Again, because my dad was watching it, so I was watching it. I barely ever got to see any Laverne and Shirley. I mean, I knew of it, but it was not, even in like reruns, it was not one I got to watch.
Okay. No, I watched that show. I did watch that.
MacGyver.
Oh, yeah.
What was the one with Tom Selleck? He's always wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Like, yeah, I can't.
I can't
that
remember.
one. Somebody knows.
Yeah.
I have to say, even the baby version of me who didn't know nothing, was just like finding hormones, thought Tom Selleck was hot. I think I've been into like that energy. I don't want to relate it to when I was younger. That sounds inappropriate, but y'all know what I'm. This energy that JB exudes, I think I've been into that for a very long time. Either Magnum PI, thank you.
Magnum PI, okay.
It was either the bad boy thing, and 90s bad boys, they were all wearing long trench coats. Whatever. It was either the bad boy thing, or it was yes, the older facial. I don't know what that was. What else was I thinking of that we watched that was more drama? We didn't. What was the one? Quantum
Leap.
Quantum Leap. I never got to watch that regularly, but at some point, I think as a teenager, maybe I got to see it in reruns. I was fucking hooked. There was
Quantum Leap. There was another show that it didn't last very long. Sliders.
Mama's Family. That was so good. That was so funny.
You remember a short-lived kind of sci-fi fantasy show called Sliders?
No. Maybe if I saw it, I go, oh yeah, but I wouldn't have known the name.
Okay.
Oh, I was a Daria girl, and I was a My So-Called Life girl. Oh my god, fucking loved that shit. Yeah. Mama's Family, though. God, Mama's Family. The Carol Burnett Show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Who else will know this one? Hee Haw?
Yeah.
Watch that shit all the time. Oh, my
man.
God. Oh, my God.
And at that, I'll give you one. Laughing.
I knew of it.
Yeah.
I might have seen little bits and pieces, but I never really watched it.
I mean, that was kind of right up there with Hee Haw. I think they were kind of close around the same time, I believe.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
No. I never watched Buffy, and I didn't really watch Xena. Just really didn't.
Loved Buffy and a big Xena fan.
That tracks completely. Are You Being Served? And oh my God, what's the other one? Her name, the name of the character she always wanted to be called Mrs. Bouquet, and it was Bucket. That show. But yes, Are You Being Served? We watched. Oh my God, we watched that for years. Faulty Towers. John Cleese has been funny his whole fucking life. What else was in those British comedies we watched? I can't remember them all. Keeping Up Appearances, yes. Oh my God, that was so. Oh, I would watch those shows again too.
Dark Angel.
Yeah, never got into that one. No.
Jessica Alba.
I know that there is like some serious lusting for Jessica Alba at different stages of her life. That one's never done it for me.
Okay.
Waiting for God. I don't know that I ever got to watch Waiting for God. I'm trying to. I don't know. Okay, Red Dwarf. Yes.
Red Dwarf. Yeah, I remember that.
Red Dwarf. I was thinking of it before Red Dwarf. Was it called Red Green? Do you know who I'm talking about? Red
Yes.
Green or Red?
I think that's what it was.
Was that what it was
I think
called?
that's what it
Oh
was.
my
Yeah.
God, we watched that one all the time.
And it was originally from BBC, I believe, at the time, but PBS also aired Hitchhiker's Guide.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I definitely didn't see that one.
Yeah.
The Red Green
The Red
Show.
Green
Thank
Show.
you.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, Christy, I wanted to watch that show. That Beauty and the Beast show, I wanted to watch it, and I never got to watch it. I
Oh,
wanted to watch it so
I
bad.
remember that now. Yeah.
Oh. You know, I'm very proud of us. We got right into the random chaos.
Yeah.
And we've stayed on track this whole time.
Cool. You mean we're being consistent?
Somebody mentioned Doctor Who. My dad watched
Yeah.
those older Doctor Who episodes.
In the 80s? Yeah.
Yeah. I was not into those. Those did not even get my attention. I am definitely a new Who fan.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Is that thunder out there?
I don't know.
Oh.
Hang on. I'm gonna
Okay.
go. I want to know.
Star Trek, yes, we did. We would watch Star Trek. My dad would watch the old Star Trek episodes, the original, on reruns, of course. And then Star Trek Next Generation, he watched all those episodes, so I watched them too. I don't think he got into the other, like, Deep Space Nine and this, and I don't think he got into any of that other stuff. It was just Star Trek The Next Generation. And so then I watched those. I really like those. I never had a Wesley Crusher crush. I understood. Look. If I was going to crush on a guy, fictional, actor, whatever, person in real life, they couldn't look that fucking, like, sweet. Like, I didn't go for the ones that were fresh-faced and sweet. I did not find those guys good looking at all. They needed to look a little scruffy. They needed to look like maybe, they didn't have enough love in their life. Like, I was just attracted to very specific types. They either had to look like, oh my God, the name of the character, Jean-Luc Picard's number 2. What the hell was that guy's name?
Jonathan Frakes.
Yes. I can't think of the character's name.
Yeah, like
You know who I'm talking about,
make
right?
it so number 1.
Right, yeah. In his years with full beard,
Yeah.
crushed on him.
Yeah, I didn't like him in the first season when he was clean shaven, but once he grew the beard,
Yep.
yeah, that
Yep.
was a whole different.
Yep. Will
Riker,
Riker,
thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
But yeah, once that beard came in, oh yeah,
I was completely enamored with. I'm talking about these characters because I can see them and I can't remember their fucking name. The counselor empath.
Troy,
Thank you.
Counselor Troy.
She's gorgeous, and was always sort of wearing. Her uniform was very form-fitting. I don't know if that was true for everybody, but I noticed her form being fit with that.
There were a lot of people, and I was one of them, that was jokingly called her the intergalactic cheerleader.
Oh, I thought she was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then the body. Oh, my God. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, don't give me no fresh-faced, innocent-looking ones. They gotta look like they've been through some shit, or they can take care of some shit. One of the two. That is my type. Anyway.
Hey, you know what you like. I mean, that.
I do. I do. After like the internet has or social media has influenced me, I feel like I probably should have watched like Xena and like appreciated The View, because that part's right up my alley, but I was a little too young at that point to really have, or I was just in different minds. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't notice it the way I noticed Troy. God, she was gorgeous. I still can never figure out when I find a woman just fucking gorgeous, if I'm enticed by the person's individual gorgeousness, like, oh my god, they're just beautiful, and I'm like, can't stop staring, or if I'm secretly like, I wish I looked like that. Like, I haven't separated that out in my mind. I do stare at a lot of asses. I will say I appreciate, like, on any fucking gender, y'all, I appreciate a gorgeous ass. But yeah. Anyway. That was probably more than anybody wanted to know, but whatever. So, what else? What's been going on with you? We're like a minute away from the Q&A, but we'll talk in between questions, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly that. You weren't actually saying words.
I know. I opened mouth and whatever that was just kind of fell.
It's not pull the beard, it's tug the beard. Gently, but with meaning. I won't do it on camera. I would probably get in trouble on camera. I don't want that. You like it when I tug your beard sometimes. Because I'm gentle. I'm not trying to, like, rip anything out by the root.
I mean, 50-50 chance of what the reaction could be. So
I know. I do try to, like, read the moment, read the room.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Well, I gotta be in the mood to want to tug your beard. So I can't come at it when I'm being kind of silly and cheeky, because then I'm gonna be treated like I'm a brat or something, and that's not the energy I was going for. But if I tug your beard gently, no hair pulling out from the root, that's my thing, not his thing. I miss my waxes, I'm just saying. Anyway, but when we're like in the middle of like a hot and heavy moment and I do it.
Well, that's, yeah.
Saying you got to pick your time.
That is true. So
you're right, Silent, and I like the whole fucking spectrum. Okay, before we keep going with the randomness, it is 10 o'clock. All that means is we'll keep being chaotic, but if you have a question, a kinky question of some sort that you would like us to answer, it can also be, if you have a question about us, feel free. We haven't come across a question yet that we won't answer, but we're good in our boundaries, so just ask. Anyway, don't spam the channel. Our lovely moderators will put you in a timeout, and they have our full blessing to do it. 2, when you type your question out, 1, it should fit within 1 text character limit for 1 message in live chat, and 2, please tag us at Loving BDSM. It lets it light up so you can actually see. So if you have any questions, feel free. We will do the question part until 11 o'clock when we're done, so go ahead. Okay. The last I recall, we were talking about tugging on JB's beard. I mean, if the knees would allow me, I would 100% like ride the beard. Not now, not here. I'm not trying to get from YouTube. But I mean, I just don't think your beard has been messed up enough in a while. And Jaden asked, what's both of our opinions on the difference of sassy versus bratty?
in her case, not very much.
I think it's an attention thing. And I think reasonable people can disagree on these different definitions and the line between sassy and bratty. For me, it's the reason I call myself sassy, not bratty. I'm not trying to be disobedient. I'm not trying to piss him off so I've pushed him a little too far. I'm not trying to get a punishment. At all times, I want to be a good girl who does what her daddy wants her to do. I just have opinions, and I think I'm funny. So it comes out as sass. So I might say a thing. There's never disobedience in it. I've never once said anything to you that was disobedient.
No.
Right. And I never think that I'm being rude in a way that is inappropriate. However, intent...
Brassy is the word indeed.
Intent does not matter based on how he took it, right? So he has taken things I've said as rude when that was not what I meant. And the amount of backpedaling I immediately do... Because let me remind you, I'm trying to be
It's
a
epic.
good girl, okay, at all times.
The backpedaling is epic.
I'm not here for even the hint of air quote trouble, even if that air quote trouble is good trouble. I don't want that. I want to be funny. I want to throw him off his game a little bit because I find that funny and it keeps him sharp. He won't admit it, but it does. It does. But at the end of the day, if he tells me to do something, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. If he wants me to stop being that way, whoop, nope, we're done. I mean, sometimes I have to bite my own tongue because I still think I'm funny. That, for me, is the line between sassy and bratty. But I think other people could go, oh, no. The way you define sassy is how I define my bratty, and I think that's fine. It's just not for me. Now, that's me. What say you?
You know, now bratty is, to me, brat, you're intentionally pushing buttons.
Right, and I have never intentionally pushed one of your fucking
that
buttons.
That is true.
Look, I'm too traumatized from my own childhood to do that shit. Nope, nope. I just think I'm funny. And I notice shit.
Mm-hmm.
I notice shit, so I point shit out. So I also think I'm smart.
And you know, I do think brats get a bad rap.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think people are very unfair to many brats, for sure.
You know, I enjoy a good brat.
Oh, yeah. The sadist in you?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Just not that I'm going to change my ways because I don't need to do that to my own self. But does that mean if I ever did fall over
that edge?
At that edge and went full on brat, you would enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'm like, and I don't...
It's tempting, isn't it?
No.
No?
I don't say this lightly, and I don't take it lightly. The trauma from willfully disobeying on any level, I don't care how good it would be on the other side. Like, I'd love to see that side of you. I'm not doing what it takes to get there. No, No.
Wow.
Nope. I mean, that's gonna kill my kink buzz to have to think about what I would have to do to go over that waterfall together. Oh my gosh. Silent. I mean, that's a good question. Do you know?
Do I know specifically? No, I don't. I don't think there is a line drawn in the sand, so to speak.
And I think the line is personal. So you would know my line. You would know what my line is when I've gone from sass to brat.
Right.
It's not gonna happen, y'all. I mean, maybe if I had more than half a gummy in me. I don't know.
So, but yeah, no, it's just like saying you know, each person's DS is different.
Right.
Their power exchange is different. You know, it's going to be that way with brats, with, you know, there's a whole broad range.
Oh yeah, I agree,
So,
100%, 100%.
yeah.
Nikki asks, can there be age play without age regression? If so, can you explain what a little is without age regression? I cannot answer age play without age regression. I imagine yes. My minimal understanding of age play says that I don't even want to try to answer because I don't know. I don't want to speak for a part of a community that I just don't have enough I don't have any experience with, I don't have enough information on. That being said, what is a little without age regression? Here's how I define it. Again, everybody's definitions are highly personal, and somebody else will have a completely different outlook on this. As a baby girl, I consider myself kind of on the spectrum of littles. Because for me, as a little with zero aging, like mental age of none of that. I don't have any of that. There are times when my behavior, both happiness and unhappiness, is definitely not age appropriate. I'm not acting like a 45-year-old grown-ass woman. I am whining. I am pouting. I am giggling. I am like, yay! I'm like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's more of a vibe. It's more of some of my behaviors are very much my inner child going, really? We're allowed to play? Okay. You know. But I don't equate that to any specific time of life. It's more of a less mature, more innocent kind of vibe for me. It's basically anything where at one point I was accused of being immature for doing things like that. I'm like, yeah, but okay, that's probably right. It's probably childlike behavior, but it doesn't have to be. Again, reasonable people can do the same thing and define them different ways, or use the same terms and define them different ways. But for me, that's really what it's like. It's a vibe, there's no specifics to it. And for me, it's been literal years since I actually did anything that was associated with being younger. Watched cartoons, coloring book, whatever. And I don't really do a lot of that anyway. But that's another thing, is sort of just enjoying things that are not considered like adult oriented. For me, it's in specific times. It's in times when I have the freedom to completely let go. Like I can just like, I'm not carrying any more of my weights. No thoughts, just vibes. And she's either giggling or pouting. It depends on the situation. And that's fairly rare these days for me, but it slips out a little bit. But that is, again, a personal definition. So.
Yeah, not much I can help with that on that topic either.
You do seem to delight in it when I go like full baby girl.
Well, true.
And when I say full baby girl, it's like by our understanding of it for us. But in the past, when I kind of had it's a luxury to go my full baby girl self. You also had the luxury to go into true daddy dom mode.
Yes.
Like I needed to be taken care of. Some boundaries had to be set. Like no, you'll be going to bed at this time, and like just little stuff like that. But
yeah.
So. But yeah. I'm hot and sweaty. I just took a shower and I washed my hair, but it's getting hot under there. I don't want to wash my hair in the morning, but I'm going through a second puberty apparently. So I get hot and sweaty. My hair is going to be grotesque. We have such a long day tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't do that we told ourselves we were going to do?
Yeah, I know. I thought about it. That
we did not make our grocery list.
We know what meals we're having.
Hopefully we remember them tomorrow. Okay, so how do we answer the daunting, maddening question of what are we going to eat every day? We plan it out. That's how a week ahead. We make our grocery list based on here's what dinners will be. Our breakfasts and our lunches are basically always kind of the same. Our snacks are kind of always the same, but dinner, we have like a 2 to 3 week sort of cycle rotation so we don't get completely bored. And yet, every time it's time to plan our dinners for the week ahead and make the grocery list, we forget all the foods we like. Every time I'm like, what foods do we eat? What haven't we eaten recently? All we have to do is remember what we ate the previous week while we're making the list to not put that back on the list. And we're like, I don't know what food I like.
I have one beer for you.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have grocery shopping in the morning. We also have to go. We have to, y'all. We have to go get iced coffees because we're almost out of cream. Yeah, and my iced coffee is not allowed to be the color of coffee in any way, shape, or form. So we have to and so grocery shopping, coffee, come home, drop it off. At a certain point, we will head off to Leesburg because JB has discovered the addiction of Facebook marketplacing. It's been very valuable.
It has.
It just means we go to strangers' houses, and I love that. It's my favorite thing to do. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to double back
and head up to Gainesville.
So what we're doing from where we live, we're going to go 45 minutes to an hour south. And then from that southern tip, we're going to go 2 hours north and overshoot our town to get to Gainesville. Because the 19-year-old desperately needs groceries, and we are fucking heathens around here and completely didn't realize that Sunday was Easter. I did remember that everything closes on Easter around here. So we have to get it done on Saturday. Or the child will not have food. As he said to me the other night when he called me and he needed me in the middle of the night, not for an emergency, it was like delightful. He was like, I don't think I can make a meal out of veggie straws and Nutella. That just doesn't seem like a balanced meal, Mom. I'm like, no. Yeah. So yes, DoorDash yourself something because that will definitely be a balanced meal. So.
But yeah, no, I've been poking around Marketplace for a bit, but I'm seeing from a lot of the stuff out there, why buy new?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Tomorrow going to look at a dust collector system for the tiny shop. I've outgrown what I've been using.
We spent 4 hours this morning cleaning out the tiny shop from dust. We're covered with it.
Barely made a dent in it.
You made a bigger dent than you realized. You just
think so?
You got this side. It's 4 walls. You got this side completely done. Part of this side, it's the back side where he stands at the lathe and he turns, and so there's just shavings, curly Q shavings all around. So okay, questions coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping to have that all cleaned up.
Is it Tamal? If it is not, please correct me. But hello, thank you for your question. Okay, for Kayla, how did you become comfortable and embrace your submissive side? I'm a switch, mostly dom, but I feel so vulnerable and shy whenever I submit. So, figuring out I was submissive, that was actually super easy for me because the moment I realized that submission was a thing, and I kind of had an understanding of what that was, I was like, oh, I make a lot more sense now. That for me was a puzzle piece slotting in. I didn't know there was a puzzle piece missing. That was the missing puzzle piece. Actually, physically submitting, doing the thing, mental, physical, you know what I mean? Just actually submitting. That was slightly more difficult, but part of it for me was I had a dom before JB, so JB is technically not my first and only dom. I had a little bit of experience before him, not much, but a little bit. And what I noticed that got me comfortable, 2 things, and both of y'all did this. It would be small bits of domination that were look at me, because I'm not real good with eye contact, so you sometimes gotta tell me I'm supposed to look at you. Be a look at me, or it'd be okay, I want you to be very quiet right now, or it's no, you're not allowed to touch yourself. It was small things that were, for me, done from a distance, because long distance for both of them, right? And those felt non-threatening enough that I could do those, dabble in it, and go, okay, I like how this feels. And I had the luxury of taking a lot of time because everything was so long distance. Everything was more phone sex and like with words, less action. And so I had time to kind of get comfortable with the idea of it and to get really excited about the small things that I could do, you know, getting the random text in the middle of the day to do something like just scandalous, but nobody else knew. And then nobody else knew I was doing it. Then there would be some amount of time, and then I'd be physically in their space because we were long distance and we were coming together. And it was less scary because the build up to all of that was so good. But I don't give good advice on this one because figuring out I was submissive was like, whoo, wow, I make total sense. And I did have to do the, oh my God, am I really a feminist thing? I had like 5 minutes of that, but the actual submitting, that was easy-ish. And I think it's because I had so much time at a long distance before I had to physically be in somebody's presence and do the submission. And so I was aware of the vulnerability, but at that point I wasn't scared of it. I was like, I'd done enough I think that might be the advice. Do small little bits that don't feel quite as threatening and work up to the things that make you feel more vulnerable. Okay, there we go. Nikita's World asks, any new implements coming up for the Kinkery? Thekinkery.com. Okay.
Yeah, kind of. There's stuff in the in the pipeline down the road. Just trying to get past some hurdles first on a couple things.
Yeah, I believe wiring is the bane of your existence right now.
Yes, yes, it is. Some of you know I got a build-it-yourself CNC machine, and you know, in all honesty, it's gone fairly well. There's been some road bumps, parts missing upon arrival. And when I was wiring the motors, wires are very, very tiny, very thin. And so, you know, I ran all that, and I got to the point where I had the software loaded and I was zeroing out the machine for the first time. And when it came to the Z-axis, it would go one way, but not the other. So I started tinkering with it and could not get anything. And pulled the motor off, hooked the motor up to another power on a different axis, and it worked fine. The motor back and forward and reverse fine. What it was, when I put it together and I closed up the wiring, I pinched one of the wires.
Oh. So now you had to order more. I
will have to order a new wiring harness for that motor.
Yeah, the bulk of our new products that were, not all, the bulk will come from the beauty that is the CNC machine.
Yeah.
Once that gets sorted. But we're also working on new diabolical sticks.
Yeah.
We're updating our building bricks. They're Legos, but trademark purposes. They're building bricks.
Yeah.
We're updating those a little bit. We've got some new shapes coming. There's one product I've been, I guess we could be at the level of almost nagging you now for like 3 or 4 years to develop. Hey, y'all, he has all the wood he needs. It's actually like already cut in the appropriate size and blah, blah, blah.
And I actually have some started up on the shelf.
Yep. But,
yeah.
I think, y'all hear that? Now, I'm curious. I meant to ask you earlier, is it one of those things, is it the procrastination because you think it's going to take forever and in reality it won't? Or did you just not enjoy making the first ones that you made? Were they tedious?
Neither.
What is it then?
Not here.
Oh, okay. Are you worried it'll be too dangerous? I have that worry too. It might never get released. It might be special, like you got to take like a test or something to prove to us you're not going
You need to be vetted before you.
Yeah, because it is a thing that truly could be used as a weapon.
Oh yeah,
It could
yeah.
be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
It would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do private sales. Woo. Anyway, no, I think it's good to be cautious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing a lot of running tomorrow. So much running.
Yeah.
The 15-year-old is so happy with us because we do not drag them along on some of these kinds of adventures.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're going to have solitude for the whole day now.
And he will be playing Destiny all day with his friends.
Right. Will the 15-year-old have to be reminded that Lola exists, and please let her out and in and out and in and out and in? Yes. But, so.
And I finally got my GoPro. That took forever to get here, and
that came from overseas.
yeah.
That came from a very
far place,
long way away.
Yeah. And I think I ordered that just in time too.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I got that mounted now on the Can-Am. It's mounted. I have it surface mounted on the dash on the Can-Am, and with the other, there's 2 mounts. I put that on the helmet so I could also record from there. It's a Fusion 360, so it catches video 360 degrees.
You only got to be somebody to get him in an accident one time and leave him with one hole in his memory, and he's like, fuck that, I'm recording everything from now on. I mean, okay, Audrey has a question. Any suggestions on ways to tie in our dynamic, Daddy Brat, to our wedding without it being obvious?
Well, your original wedding ring was rope themed.
I know. And then I swear I think Onyx exploded.
Yeah.
I did find one online that looks almost identical
to it.
It's several $100s. Several $100s. Anyway,
something like that.
I know.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say, when we got married, I was very much in my baby girl space for that one. I had my hair all cute. I was wearing a cute old dress. I was like,
and your purple.
I was purple
Converse.
head to toe, y'all.
Yeah.
I dressed in a way that made my baby girl self so happy.
Yeah.
So happy.
Yep.
So if there's something along those lines that fit for both or either of y'all. What I remember from our own wedding, we were our most daddy and baby girl selves when everybody left us the fuck alone. Like, we got married on a dinner cruise ship thing because no cleanup. You start and they drop you back off, and it's all like in one location, and and it was affordable, quite frankly. But what it meant was, like, we had these tables set up in like a U shape for our family and friends who came, and we were the two like at the head, and we were close enough to talk to our friends, but we ended up being our most like power exchangey selves while we were sitting there, just the two of us, and everybody was giving us space because newlyweds, and we were like, never mind, we've been living together and fucking for years at that point. We were still the newlyweds, Yeah. And for neither of us was it our first rodeo, so we got some private time, and if I wanted a drink, I could have, like, I don't drink often, but I could have my fun drinks, but I was asking my daddy, can I have another drink? And my daddy was making sure I had it, and so we incorporated those kinds of things, but nothing,
nothing really that we
wanted to incorporate something power exchangey into our vows, and when we thought the person who was going to actually perform the ceremony, who's kinky, was going to do it, we were going to figure that out so that it stayed subtle. that might be something if, if the way you're doing your wedding is you're writing your own vows, you still have to be real subtle because you don't want somebody going, what do you mean that you promise to always obey like a good little girl? Like, that wouldn't work. My mother would have had questions, right?
Yeah.
And we were going to try to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. And Audrey, the ring where it was from, we got it at a local jeweler in Palm Harbor. I do not remember the name, though.
We spent a lot of money on that set.
Yes.
I still have, it was not an official engagement set, but it was, like, it was a set, and it had a purple stone. It does not fit these sausage-like fingers now. And the engagement side was this beautiful purple, whatever, amethyst or whatever it is.
I bet mine fits now.
Your everything fits now. And then, the band was just, it looked like a rope going on. The band, gone. Fell off my nightstand.
Yeah.
Never to be seen. We tore the bedroom apart.
Yep.
Never to be seen. I'm pretty convinced Onyx took it and hit it or ate the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if it was under the bed somewhere, I did pull stuff out from under there, and
we did a deep dive under there.
So
if we ever find it, it'll be the day we finally pack up and move out of this place.
Yeah.
And I won't be unhappy, but I will be if we have replaced it.
Yeah, right?
No. I always wanted to be a person who wears their wedding ring set all day, every day. Two things. I am notoriously rough on my own hands. I type at a computer for a living, and yet I hurt myself frequently. And two, I can get very overstimulated by something touching me for too fucking long. So it's like, I love you so much, I'm taking these off now. So.
Yeah. And I got out of the habit wearing mine with all the equipment I work with.
And we don't, since COVID times, we don't get, like, we don't go out and get dressed up, but maybe once or twice a year, maybe. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I miss wearing it sometimes, but also, like you, especially now that I pour resin, and I wear gloves when I pour resin, but you don't know how pissed off I'd be if I got resin on my wedding set. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be that kind of person who, wears jewelry regularly and, like, gets kind of what I call dolled up and, like, I don't think I'm naturally that way. I went through a period, was it high school or college, where I did the thing of wearing multiple rings on my fingers, and I freaking loved the look of it. I fucking loved the look of it. But after about, like, 2 hours, I am not the human who can forget there's something touching me. Nope. I can be unaware of it for a hot minute, but I will then become aware of it. So rings were always fun, but I am also that person who, and a lot of people are like this, at one point in the day, my hands are the size they are naturally, and everything fits. And then my hands swell. And then nothing fits, and I'm miserable. So, yeah, like, the idea of it's nice. It's like, I'd like to be a person who wears dresses more often, because, man, I love a thing that don't squeeze me around the waist. But the kind of dresses I like that give me some semblance of shape and do not look like a sack, they're going to touch me somewhere at some point, and then I'll just be pulling so that things don't touch me. I don't know. So, like, I have dresses that I will throw on when I'm like, no pants, please. We have to go in public. But they look like literal sacks, and I don't fill it out right to be happy with the shape I'm creating. I'm like, oh, I look like I'm wearing an actual potato sack. Okay. And then the dresses I really like, at least on a mannequin, where I'm like, ooh, I bet my tits would look great in that. scratchy material. There's a seam or an edge, and it's just, or I have to wear a special kind of bra, or I gotta be okay with the girls pointing south all day long because I can't wear a bra. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I'll just wear my Adam Sandler look and move on. Anyway.
Oh, gosh.
Anything else? We got about 30 minutes left, y'all. If you've got questions, feel free, throw them at us. We're good.
Well, how did we come around there when I was talking about the camera for the bike?
I don't know. I don't know how we get anywhere. I swear to God.
So, but yeah, now I just need to figure out a little bit how to use the app to edit the footage. And
I meant to ask, because you said you downloaded the footage that you took of your ride tonight.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch any of it?
Yeah.
How did it look like actual video, or did it?
Oh no, it looked pretty cool, and
Okay.
and the quality is.
Okay. Should we be doing our streams on a fucking GoPro? Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe.
You know, Silent, the moment I find, other than having 2 children diagnosed with ADHD and seeing so much of myself in both of them, the first time I finally went, well, maybe ADHD is somewhere in this wiring, was when I learned that often for girls and women, but not always, the inattentiveness is internal. It's the daydreaming, it's the this, it's the that. And I went, oh yeah, I remember when I used to, oh my God, daydream. I still can daydream. You have to watch me. I'm probably talking to myself. So I don't know. Is that considered a daydream? I don't know. But I read some definition where a lot of it is internal. And I went, oh my God, that's my childhood. That's my teenage years. And that's some early 20s. I recognized it. And so I had to add that into the mix of who am I don't know, but this might be part of it. I prefer, whenever possible, no socks, but also I prefer no shoes. I just don't want anything touching my feet, but I will wear socks. The problem is I have never been for certain shoes. The problem is I've never been fortunate enough to find the perfect sock that either didn't have a seam, or I wear the low ankle socks because I don't like my socks to be visible when I wear sneakers. The elastic that sits around your ankle to keep it up so it's not falling down your damn shoe.
Mm-hmm.
When I first put it on, it's fine. Give me a couple hours. It's all I can feel is that thing around my ankle. But I gotta wear, for me at least, I gotta wear socks if I'm wearing my sneakers. But it's kind of why I'm a flip-flop girl. It's the closest I can come to being barefoot in public, because I've seen way too many 7-Eleven feet in person in the 7-Eleven. I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be that girl. I hate turtlenecks. I actually had a different t-shirt on because I was like, oh, I'll wear that. That's a fun t-shirt. And it's oversized. I'm in my oversized t-shirt era again. And had to change it because the neck was up just a little too high, and all I could feel was turtlenecks, mock turtlenecks. First of all, why are we doing a mock neck? What is the point? Either way, it's all too high and it's all touching my neck, and I don't like it. Again, if I didn't have to wear uncomfortable bras to get the girls up where I need them to be, I would wear a lot of low cut spaghetti strap, show everything. I don't mind showing everything off as long as it's in the place it's supposed to be, because it's not touching me up here. But yeah. Sand at the beach, Tayshu. Oh God, it's my nemesis. I love the beach. I love the water. I want to be near on here. Listen, I want to be on a good beach. The sand. My favorite place ever for the beach. It's up in the Destin area. It's not just Destin, it's that whole coastline. It's called the Emerald Coast because the water does look like kind of blue and green, but it's got what they call sugar sand beaches. Oh my God. I don't have to wear shoes in that place. Except when it's too hot, because for me, I don't feel those grains of sand at all in the way I do like every other fucking beach I've ever been on. Yeah. Oh God, X, I feel you on that. I have not worn a watch in years and years, but yes, had to be loose. For me, I wanted it sitting on my wrist like a bracelet. I wanted to be able to do this and it move. If it was on me, didn't like that. Didn't like that. I don't mind long sleeve stuff when it's cold. Actually, with the right top, that's cozy to me. The problem I always run into with long sleeves is the cuff. If the cuff of the shirt is long and I can kind of tuck my hands in, I'm really happy. Sometimes it's long enough, but it's not soft enough. Sometimes often it's both not soft enough, it's rough, and it's a little short, and so you can feel the seam, the inside of a cuff, like on a sweatshirt or a that seam, I'll feel it rubbing my wrist, and I'm like, no, get this off of me. So I'll just pull up, and no matter how cold it is, 20 degrees outside, the sleeves are rolled up. I can't let them touch me.
Huh.
So.
Yeah. I mean, for me, when the Florida cold weather comes in, I hang on to my shorts tooth and nail.
Yeah. Yeah, you can wear all kinds of clothes. I've seen you wear all kinds of styles. Are there any types of clothing you're like, no, that just drives me nuts. I feel it, or it's is there's stuff I know aesthetically you might not like, but are there parts of clothing that can just aggravate you at a certain point?
Tags.
Tags. Tagless clothes was the best fucking invention ever.
Absolutely. But yeah, tags in the neck. And it's funny, when I was younger, it never bothered me. I mean, you couldn't get a shirt without a tag anyway.
Sure, yeah.
And, there was no other option. But as I got old, yeah.
So this is cliche, it's stereotype, but also sometimes stereotypes are true. Looking back, I should have known the youngest had a touch of the tism, because there was not an article of clothing I could put on that child that I did not end up at some point cutting tags out of. It took a while to figure out why this child was crying every time clothes had to be put on, but I did eventually figure out it was tags. And so I got to the point, I finally learned to just cut them out before putting the clothes on this child. But yeah, like that, not liking tags is not diagnostic of autism, of course, but it's such a stereotype that I'm like, yeah, I probably should have seen that one coming.
And X, I am the same way. I'll have that blanket up to my neck, but it ain't going over my head. I do not like.
I don't like things over my head.
Don't like that.
But you know what I don't like about something being over my head?
What?
It's how hot my own breath gets. It gets stuffy, and I don't like that.
Yep.
But I don't like anything up at my neck, because then I feel like it's something touching my neck. It's the same reason I can't wear a collar to
when
bed.
I was really young, it didn't bother me. But then again, too, I was under the blankets with a flashlight.
Oh yeah.
Reading.
Yeah.
So.
Tags on bras are just evil, Kirsty. They're just evil. I don't remember. I remember not loving velvet. Like, the look of it, okay. But there was something about the touch. It's, for me, from my memory, because, God, it's been literal decades since I've been near velvet or velveteen or anything like it. I think it was akin to, like, microfiber towels. There's kind of it doesn't freak me out, so I can't touch a microfiber towel, which it does. I know it does for some people. But there's this, like, sensation when you touch it that something's just not right. I can use them. We are surrounded by microfiber towels around here. But velvet, in my mind, my memory is like that same kind of, like, there's a feeling to it. I just want to Get it out of my hands. So, see, I'm not quite like that strong of a feeling with microfiber, but it does have a, and maybe sticky is the right word. I don't think I've associated it with sticky, but I hate you know how I am when my fingers get sticky with something. I'm immediately like, I can't touch anything.
I don't know that it's sticky, or that because of the fiber that it's almost like Velcro when you get to your skin, and that's what you.
It's something. I can touch it. I'm not so sensitive to it that I'm like, oh, get it the fuck away from me. But it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, the Velcro. Yeah, the human.
Yeah. Yeah, it is unpleasant. It is. Now I can. This is very niche. Not everybody, hardly anybody, maybe only me. I don't know. There is a level where you can make microfiber worse. And that is, and I'm not complaining, I'm not asking to change our supplies. But you know how we use the microfiber towels to butter and to remove the excess wood conditioner? When it gets real thick on the cloth, that's a ring of hell to touch that. And I'm not going to be wasteful and just toss these things immediately the moment they get this, because it's the microfiber and then there's a film of like soft wax over oils and stuff. It is such a grotesque feeling. Yeah. There will come a point I'll use it and I'll touch it and then there will come a day where I will pick it up and my hand goes, oh hell no. That's when that cloth gets tossed out. That's when that one's retired.
Yeah. And you got to understand, we don't just wood butter a piece of wood here and there. This is a constant thing.
When JB gets going on making a whole bunch of paddles, or we get a whole bunch of resin inlay paddle orders, like there's a credenza behind the camera, and it's 6 feet long, that credenza over there. Mm-hmm. Almost the entire thing will have paddles that I've had to put wood butter on all the way down, and then I have to putting the wood butter on, that's a paper towel. Taking it off is microfiber towels. And buffing is a microfiber towel. Mm-hmm. Oh, wet socks. That's also a ring of hell.
I mean, is there anybody that likes wet socks? Really?
Somebody there's always somebody into something. But I do think it's highly niche. I don't think it's
wet socks to me are the worst.
Yeah. I don't like being sticky. I don't like having egg yolk touch my hands. I'll make us egg breakfast in the air fryer, and I gotta crack his eggs because he likes his more scrambled. I like mine, like I want my yolk runny. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to touch me, but when I eat it, right? So I crack eggs for JB's scramble. I've got to wash my hands because the egg white got on me. Then I move to mine and I crack my eggs for mine. I'm like, oh, let me go wash my hands. It's a constant. Just leave the water running.
Well, if we get up at a reasonable time tomorrow, I'll make breakfast.
And I will let you. I will really let you. Okay, next question. Oh. What are some good activities that involve a DS power dynamic while being long distance? I love phone calls and being able to tease my sub, but that's not always possible.
Long distance, depending, there's always, we talked a lot during the day through chat and email. So, those are always good things to...
You would send through tasks.
Yeah.
That was a big thing to do from long distance. Yes. Sometimes they'd be sexual, sometimes they wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And the thing about long distance is if it was a middle of the workday task, he understood and he learned quickly. He needed to tell me that he understood. Yeah. He would caveat with, do this as soon as you can with regards to your work schedule, right? Like he couldn't dictate, you have to do it right now, you have to do it in the next 10 minutes. Right. Who knew what I was doing at work? But it was like, here's a task I want completed before the end of your day. Here's, whatever. Yeah. You picked out my underwear?
I did.
Every day?
And because also you were kind of newer to the lifestyle, I would give you tasks of researching different implements.
Yes. Yes, so there would be research of learning whatever kink thing we'd been talking about, whether it was a thing we wanted to try or it was just conversation. If I expressed not knowing, then my next task was to go research. The picking out my underwear every day. Now that was fascinating because what I first had to do was create a photo database, essentially, of every pair of underwear that I owned. Upload it. Was it Dropbox?
Yeah.
And then JB every day would go through the Dropbox file
and pick one out.
and then my job was, once I got dressed for the day, whatever, he got a semi almost naked selfie of me in the underwear. So I was sending him a picture of me, got to see that I was, had done the thing I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I mean, it's, tends to, like, as with everything, it's highly personalized.
Yeah.
Because what is your dynamic like? Like, is it sexual or not, right? What do y'all's lives look like? Like, how much freedom do either of y'all have, like, during the day to whatever?
And another thing did, too, for a little while was had you journal.
Yep.
Had you journal online.
Yeah, we did a lot of things through Google Drive.
Yeah. Yep.
So we could share a document or whatever. But, yeah. Those were the kinds of things we did. So then it's a matter of, what are some things that will be intimate? What are some things that will fall within the specific dynamic that you have based on your roles? Like, I'm a service sub, so giving me tasks is totally a thing to do because that's me being of service, and I'm super happy with that. Me asking permission. We couldn't do it with things that were a necessity, but we had for a while there. If I want, because man, I'm one who needs a treat to get through all kinds of things. I bribe myself with treats, but sometimes maybe I go too far, right? Like going to work today, I didn't need a treat for that. I got the paycheck, right? So for a while, JB was sort of in charge of me treating myself, so I couldn't just get a little treat unless I asked permission. Now, that was on me to ask permission with enough time to give him time to say one way or the other, because if I asked for a treat on my lunch break, can I go get a whatever, and I hadn't heard from him by the lunch break, it had to be a no. So there was a timing thing involved there too, but it was stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Anyway, there's about 10 minutes left, so if anybody else has questions, go ahead and get them in now. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, Jaden made a good suggestion, the Obedience app.
Yep, and there's actually two others. One is apparently made by the people who make the Obedience app. The other one, I can't remember the name of it. They're sitting in our email inboxes because we have a plan to try some of these out and then do an episode on all the ones we tried. We haven't done it yet, though.
No. Maybe we need to sit and talk about it this weekend.
Let's add it to our list. We'll have a lot of time in the car together.
We'll have time in the car together to talk about all this. Yes, indeed.
So what I'm hearing is I'm not going to be allowed to bury myself in the book on my phone.
Not the whole time, no.
But during the stressful traffic time, I can. We have an understanding.
You're fine.
Because he wants to stay married to me, and I don't want to be put out on the side of the road. So when we're in places where the traffic is really bad, that's when my anxiety as a passenger spikes, and so I can hide away from the whole world.
I wonder if it blindfold you.
I don't want to end up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or wherever else with somebody going, only in Florida. That would be my fucking luck. Okay. That would be my luck. Somebody would see us at a red light or something, and they just start recording. Hashtag Florida woman. So. Yeah, I can see that. And I don't know, because if that would, like, it's a funny joke, but would that actually work? I don't. Maybe eventually. But the first couple times, I think I'd be more of a nervous wreck because now I can't even brace my body for what might be about to happen to us. You know?
Yeah, but see, that's part of the thing. You know, if you don't, tense up, sometimes you can.
Look, just let me bury my nose in whatever book I'm reading.
Okay.
And I am fingers crossed that tonight you'll give me enough time to finish the book I'm working on.
I will.
The book
I will.
is so good. It's so good. It's a romance.
I'm enjoying my books too.
Mm-hmm. He's an elf and he's an orc, and they're totally in love, but from different worlds, they're being ripped apart. It's so good. Anyway, what have you been reading? I have not asked recently.
I'm reading two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is a series that I've had for a long time, but I've never really sat down and read it. I hope I'm saying it right. The Belgariad, I believe it's called. Mm. And then also on the other spectrum, I've been reading through a few of the Mercy Thompson books by Patricia Briggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, silent. Look.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Look,
a hot minute.
I read a couple of contemporary romances, like by Talia Hibbert. I love Talia Hibbert, and she had a couple on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll read these. I own another one of her series, but I have not read that full series yet. But I do own the books. So she's on Kindle Unlimited. I'm like, I'll read these. It was so weird to just read about humans. Like, I mean, what do you mean? Like, why isn't his penis, like, funny shaped? Like, what is happening? How come there's no biting and breaking skin and, like, drinking blood? Like, what is happening here? What do you mean they're not fated mates? They didn't look at one another from across the room and go, oh my God, that's my person. Like, I just... Look, I do taste you that. We love a smart ass.
Right.
Yeah, I like the... Are we going to get into a timeout war between the mods?
A mod
They're just
war.
timeouting each other? I love it. Mr. Spock says he's tried. God damn, y'all.
Y'all are a rough crowd.
Yeah, the book I'm currently reading, it's just, two people. It's not like a why choose situation. Mm-hmm. This one intrigued me because of the story from the blurb or whatever. And I was like, I've been reading a lot of very, like, thin, white, cis, like, I was like, this is just a little too much. We need to, like, let's go search for something fucking else. And so I've got a few, like, racked up that are not all that, which is good. The past couple books have just been more well-rounded, shall we say. But right now I'm in a kick of looking at what other books are out there, and right now I'm a mood reader. I'm a total mood reader, and right now the mood is I need more Why Choose, but I need them to know. I just read a little Why Choose series that was literal, like, cotton candy for your brain. It was so like dumb, but still, like, good. It was entertaining. It was candy for the brain. There was nothing no nutritional value here, right? This girl had eight fated mates. Not one of these men were willing, even while having threesomes with her, to touch one another. It literally would say, well, he managed to, like, rub up on me, but didn't touch other dude, or he managed to straddle without and I was like, what? What? And they're all shifters, so supposedly they're all used to being nude around each other, because when you shift, you come back, you don't have your fucking clothes on. Okay. Y'all can let your knees touch during sex? Like, what's happening? So I definitely need some, like, variety. that when I started reading more, and I'm not saying this is a good choice, but it is the choice that worked for me. I started reading so much fucking more when I decided to read on my phone, using an app on my phone, because my phone is always with me, and anywhere I am where I'm not doing something, my phone will be there, and so I can be in any waiting room, anywhere. I don't have to carry anything extra. I don't have to keep up with anything extra, just the phone. So I read a lot.
You do. You do.
Also, because I'm trying to, like, escape reality. Like, I want to be a well-informed citizen. I'd like to know before my country, like, falls off and breaks off and falls into the ocean. Like, trying to be a well-informed citizen, trying to, like, be aware of the bullshit so that you can stand against the bullshit. But also I'm trying to keep my sanity. So sometimes I have to disassociate into a fictional world where nobody's fucking human. But they're all fucking.
Anywho.
Yeah, I can't do audiobooks either. I'm finding it's actually harder for me to even listen to podcasts these days. And I love a good podcast, but I drift. And once I've trying to come back, I'm like, what did they just spend the past 10 minutes talking about? I can't do it with a book. Physically being able to, like, stare at the words, so much better for me. I hope I continue to have the luxury of being able to do that. I hope nothing happens where I can't, on any... But that's a little bit why I like doing it on a screen these days, because you can make it bright, you can increase the font, you have a lot more control.
True.
So.
No, okay.
No.
Thought I heard Lola.
No, she is not worried about us tonight. She's
No, she's
on her
not.
couch
Mm-hmm.
doing her evening routine.
Yes, she is. Yeah. But she was funny earlier. She was like, I want your attention. You're going to give me your attention.
She's very demanding for your attention.
She is. She was. And she got it. And all the belly rub she can handle.
What does a girl have to do to get all the butt rubs she can handle? I don't want belly rubs. Don't do that.
I don't think... I think my hand would be worn to a nub and there still wouldn't be enough belly rubs.
Also, whose dick do I have to suck to get the floor people called? I keep forgetting to. I've been meaning to remind you every day this week, and I keep forgetting.
I'm lucky I remembered to do the things I did today.
I know. We have to make it a priority next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
God, don't you love it? Even at your most wacky, chaotic moments, adulting just, like, interferes. I mean, is it my fault? Sure. But, yeah, even now, they have no interest in us today.
Mm-mm.
Which is fine. Lola has an evening routine. It involves taking up most of the couch.
Yeah, Lola is easing into her old lady stage now.
Yeah, there's lots of sleeping and lots of couch laying.
Yep.
And with all that being said, it's now 11 o'clock. So, thank y'all for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for sharing in the chaos. Thank you for your questions.
Absolutely.
Now I really, 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 really want to shroud it in the dark. We're gonna make a note real quick before we go. Give me that one. Okay. In the dark. Okay. So we're gonna go. Thanks for being here with us.
Hope everyone has a good weekend.
And if it can't be good, hopefully it goes by quickly. We will see y'all next week.
If it can't be good at it.
Something.
Yep.
Something.
There you go.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.